Hello, everybody. My name is S Neill, and I'm here in my trademark tweed jacket. However, I don't have my trademark pipe anymore. I've decided to give that up. It was pretty easy. I just died in 1973. Quit cold turkey. Worked out well for me. Now, I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself, my philosophy on education, my school, and why you should vote for me to be your next school board president. But you get to choose. It's your choice. If you don't want to vote for me, that's fine. I would like to take a look here now at these pictures and tell you what I see. I see students that are happy and engaged in pursuing their own interests. They're doing what they want to do and living the life that they want to live. I see students that are allowed to be free, to be happy. But on the other hand, what do we see in these pictures? We see kids that are controlled, that are told that they need to learn certain things, how to learn those things, when to learn those things, where to learn those things. They don't have the freedom, the choice. They aren't happy. In fact, they've had all potential pulled from them. Because how are they going to turn into fully functioning adults if they're controlled by other people? And that's sad. Now, where do students learn to become free and social members of society and to pursue their interests? They could come to my school, Summerhill. Here at my school, students are free to do what they like and pursue their interests. There aren't the established rules that you would normally think of in a school. Students can do what they want, when they want, where they want, as long as they aren't infringing on the rights of other people. If they want to play with fire and learn about fire, so be it. If they want to cook with fire and have a campfire, so be it. That's up to them. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My full name is Alexander Sutherland Neill. My friends call me AS. You could call me whatever you like. It's your choice. I was born in 1889 in Scotland to a father who was the village schoolmaster. My mother was also a school teacher before she was married. I'm one of 8 kids out of 13. So, it seemed like my parents were pretty busy in addition to their school jobs. Now, while being taught, I was not interested in this normal things that would students would want to learn about. I didn't want to be taught the way my father wanted to teach me. I didn't want to learn the things that he wanted to teach me. I wanted to learn my own things, pursue my own interests. No matter how much he tried to motivate me with his hitting stick and his corporal punishment, it didn't work. I rebelled. I pulled away. Now, at the age of 14, though, I decided I needed to become an adult. So I went off for an apprenticeship. However, it didn't work out well, and I needed to come home and do something. So, as they say, those that do, and those that don't, teach. So I became a pupil teacher and a teacher's assistant. I studied under many different teachers, but the one common thing that I noticed was I didn't like the way that they taught. I didn't like the way that they would tell kids what they needed to do and when to do it and what interests to pursue. I wanted my students to be free. However, I wasn't a teacher yet, but I tried to, and I tried to go to university, but I wasn't accepted until 1908. There, I went to the University of Edinburgh and began studying agriculture because that's what my father wanted me to do. However, I didn't enjoy it. So I went and pursued a career in English literature and got my studies done. From there, I went on to edit encyclopedias such as the Piccadilly magazine. At World War One, I was drafted as an Army officer, but for the first year of the war, I worked at the Gretna Green School. There I wrote my first book, one of many. In 1921, I was asked to found and join a progressive school. It was a wonderful thing. I let students do whatever they like, to learn about whatever they like. However, in Dresden, the Germans, they weren't too happy with my style of education and wanting to let kids run around and be free. So I had to come back in 1924 to England. And from there, I established my Summerhill School. So if we talk about kids and what I think about kids and my philosophy on students, well, I think out of the box, kids are good by nature. They're just, they're virtuous, They're moral. They're curious, happy, fun-loving, and adventurous. But what we do as adults is we restrict their learning. We restrict them by telling them what they need to pursue, by telling them what they need to learn. And ultimately, that makes them angry, frustrated, controlled, robotic, complacent, sedated, and bored. Not happy kids. So how do we get around that? Well, the first thing is by not making kids into the image of what we think. We shouldn't tell them and harp on them what they should do. We shouldn't show them what is cool. They should be able to discover it, to learn about it on their own, to become their own person. Well, to do this, my philosophy is everybody should find happiness. And if you find happiness, you find your interest. And that is the basis of my educational plan. You should pursue your interest. So, it takes freedom to find your interest. And how do we give that freedom? Well, we heap on more freedom, not more restrictions. We allow kids to do what they like. And at Summerhill, we can do that. To do that, though, we allow everybody to have an equal voice, adults and students. And we have weekly meetings where rules are set, where everything is voted on. Because to me, freedom isn't the right to do whatever you like, because sometimes your freedoms impede upon other people. So I say freedom is not license. In fact, my school has over 200 rules. One of those rules is big kids can't ride little kid bikes. Or you can't play your drums at 4 o'clock in the morning, because even though it is your right and your freedom to pursue that interest, it keeps other people awake. That is bad. At Summerhill, we rule by self-governance. You have the choice to choose your classes, to choose your interests. However, there are natural consequences to things that you figure out over time. For example, if you choose not to learn to read, well, guess what? You're an adult that doesn't know how to read, and there's a consequence for that. You're going to have an awfully hard time finding a job. Now, to talk a little bit more about my candidates and why I think I would be a better school board president than them, even though many of them have wonderful things, and I won't say a bad thing about them. It is, for example, John Holt. Why did he stop at the unschooling and allowing students to pursue their own interest in learning? He should have taken that further into society. For William Spade, well, who is he to say who should set the goals? The people that are learning should set the goals on what they want to learn. E.D. Hirsch and his cultural literacy and core knowledge, well, all kids learn at a different pace and want to learn different things. He shouldn't tell kids what they should learn. Salman Khan, wonderful man, brought the technology idea of learning what you want to learn, when you want to learn it, but it just happens to be on YouTube. And you know what's not on YouTube? Social interactions. So how are these kids to learn how to interact in society? They can't. And Charlotte Danielson, Quality Teacher Assessment Framework, well, why should you subjectify for helping students learn? If you're an effective teacher, you're an effective teacher. You don't need anybody else to say how good of a teacher you are. So in the end, I would like for you to vote for me, if you want to, because it'll make you happy. And that's a wonderful thing to be happy. Pursue your own interest. One of my interests is bingo, and I would like to play educational philosopher for school board president bingo next Monday. If you would like to play too, well, go to this link and download one of the bingo cards that you'll use on Monday. And thank you for listening to me as I tell you a little bit about myself and why my philosophy on education would be excellent for leading your next school board. Have a great day.